Get Cooking with Cowboy. Today we'll be showing you how to make some fun and easy Jello recipes at home for your very own Jello party. The possibilities with Jello are endless, but today I'll be showing you a color combination with two different colors of Jello. I have blue and red, and along with my two colors of colored Jello mix, you'll need 2 packets of unflavored gelatin. It might sound odd to have gelatin and Jello, but it's important that you have both because the gelatin is going to give your Jello a little bit of an extra wiggle. You'll take each box of colored Jello, pour it into your bowl along with your packet of unflavored gelatin, and make sure before we add the hot water that you mix up the packet of unflavored gelatin and colored Jello together. This might not seem like an important step, but if you forget to stir it, it might not mix properly when it's time to add the water. Once your bowls are mixed, you're going to take a container, either glass or metal. This is an 8x8, and you're going to spray down the sides and the bottom with cooking spray. That way, when our Jello is all finished and ready to cut and eat, it'll make it a lot easier to cut. Once your water has boiled or your tea kettle has whistled, you'll be measuring out 2 cups of hot water for each of your colors. Since I'm using 2 colors, that will mean a total of 4 cups of hot water. Make sure to do this 1 color at a time, because after you add your 2 cups of hot water, you'll want to whisk or stir it right away. Your 2 colors of Jello are mixed with your hot water and stirred completely, you'll pick one and pour it into your pan. Make sure when you pour it that you're being very careful because it's still going to be really hot from the hot water, and I like to tip it in very close to my baking dish, that way it doesn't splash up as much. And before we put this first layer of color into the fridge, we need to make sure that there aren't any bubbles. So grab a plastic knife or a real knife or a fork, and any bubbles you see, you're going to pop. We're popping the bubbles because after our Jello has been in the fridge for about a half hour, we'll take it out and put our second color on top. And if you have any bubbles, it makes that second layer of color not really want to stick or talk to that first layer. Once all your bubbles are popped, you will set a timer for 30 minutes and put this first layer of your Jello treat into the fridge. Once your 30-minute timer goes off, you can check on your Jello in the fridge. If you go to reach into the fridge to take your Jello out and it still looks a little bit too wet, put it in for another 5 or 10 minutes. Once your Jello is out of the fridge and there's a jiggle to it but no wet puddle spots, it's time for you to add your second layer of color. Again, we're going to take our bowl of color and gently pour it into our baking dish, being careful not to splash any of the Jello anywhere. Once you've poured your second color in, which in this case will be our final color or layer, you'll take your knife and pop your bubbles again that you see. Once all the bubbles are popped, you will put this pan back into the fridge for about 30 minutes. Thanks for joining us on Get Cooking with Cowboy. We hope you had just as much fun during our Jello party as we did. You can catch the recipe at the end of this video or look below. Oh, good boy.